What's that?
The image is flipped.
Yes, I did. Did you tell her that she has to face the camera?
Yes, we are live.
Oh, we're live.
Gwen's head is cut off.
I guess I'm not holding the camera right now.
Hello. Welcome to our live stream where my head is either cut off or the bottom of the shot is not shown.
You're okay.
Judy, it'll be perfect for you then. You're like a foot shorter than me.
Well, I'm assuming she's gonna. Your head's there now. Oh, now you're upside down.
Perfect. There we go.
Okay, if I have to do a handstand while talking, that'll be a little challenging.
All right, if you can just ask them if they can hear us, okay?
Okay, can you hear me? If you can't see my head, that's fine. It's not necessary.
Your head is there. You're good.
There we go. But if you can just let us know if you can hear us. Wow, I love your homemade camera holder.
I need to buy one.
You got a lead rope and is that like a toilet paper roll? What is happening here?
No, it's one of the rolls from the
A
plastic.
label or
The plastic. We cut it.
This is amazing. Okay, well, we're
Necessity is the mother of invention.
okay. So welcome to pre-Black Friday madness, everyone. You are on this stream. Hopefully the link didn't get leaked, but you're on this stream if you are a member of our paid private community or a Facebook supporter. So one of the perks for both groups is you get to shop today because Black Friday is our biggest day.
Crazy.
Of the year and everything sells out and we're here running around like chickens with our heads cut off. So today could be a nice peaceful shopping experience. You also can ask Dr. Judy herself.
It's peaceful for them no matter when they do it.
I don't know. I feel like they can feel the stress on Friday when we do a live, but if you have questions, we will take questions for Dr. Judy to answer. I just wanted to hop on in the beginning and give you all a few updates on things that are either out of stock or will shortly be out of stock, and then we can get started. So if you haven't received your code, check your email. If you don't see it in your email, then check the community or check the Facebook supporter hub because we did post your coupon codes there. You'll get 12% off everything at drjudymorgan.com. So everything in the warehouse that we're standing in. You also get a free gift. We have some really cool little free gifts from companies that we love. And you also can get 40% off everything at Dr. Judy, which is all of the courses. And some of those high dollar courses,
That's
like
huge.
hospice or understanding lab values, that 40% off is a lot of savings. And we're not going to do a bigger sale this year at all. No chance. No chance. This is it. Okay, so make sure you have your codes. I'll let her take some questions. The main thing that we're going to run out of that I know people love is cocoa therapy, coconut oil. So if you need coconut oil, buy that first. The MCT oil won't be in stock until next week, so that'll probably miss the sale, unfortunately. Everything else should be in pretty good stock. Dr. Judy's
Actually, a lot of like the cocoa therapy macaroons are short stuff. The cocoa therapy has there was a typhoon, knocked off a bunch of coconuts, and they will only harvest coconuts that have been on the tree for, I believe, at least 9 months. So anytime there's a storm and the coconuts get knocked off, they won't pick them up off the beach to use them. They're very, very particular about that, which is why their coconut oil is so different from other companies, a lot of the human companies. So cocoa therapy, unfortunately, is having a supply chain issue. So if you need anything cocoa therapy, you guys get to shop first. This is one of your perks for being part of the paid community because that stuff is going to go.
Yes, the hairball, unfortunately, is not back in stock. Everything else should be in stock. We still do have the small organic coconut oils and some of the refills. Dr. Judy's PEA is, we think, pretty well stocked, but it's never in stock for long. So I would also encourage you, if you're considering that
Stock up.
Yeah, that would go first. But I think that's pretty much it.
And it is okay to hoard. Michelle Allen said, "Oh, I wanted to be nice to everybody else with the PEA, so I only ordered 10, but I wanted 15." I said, "You better go ahead and order your 15.
Get what you can." That is the philosophy. We do have another small shipment coming in before the end of the year, but it's not projected to be enough. So just get it while you can. I think that's mostly it. If there's anything glaring or if you have any questions, you can pull me in, but I think you can take it from here.
We're very well stocked on green lip mussels, very well stocked on freeze-dried foods, green juju, Steve's, those kinds of things. Very well stocked on books.
We have a couple questions already.
All right.
Yep. Lisa wants to know, what do you recommend for seizures?
What do I recommend for seizures? Well, it depends on the breed of the dog, but if you know that they don't have problems with coconut, then I would definitely do MCT oil. Unfortunately, we are out, but put that on your list for when we are back in next week. And then certainly omega-3s, anything that's going to support brain function, CoQ10, SAMe, those kinds of things are really, really good for brain function.
Okay. And Jim asked, we have a TT with low thyroid and mast cell cancer and cataracts. What products would you recommend?
Low thyroid, cataracts, and mast cell. Okay. For the cataracts, I would use OcuGlow. And I don't know what a TT is.
TT, yeah.
I'm Tibetan Terrier, maybe? Jim Duff, yeah, that's probably a Tibetan Terrier. So this is the small one. It comes in small and large dog. So I would do that for the cataracts. And then the low thyroid, basically we're going to support immune function. We do not have a glandular supplement. I wish we did, but we do not. Standard Process makes them if you have a veterinarian that stocks their stuff. I would support with things like mushrooms, just good immune support. And then mast cell cancer, I've got a whole blog on that. And actually, I think I'm dealing with that with our Charlie boy. We're getting a biopsy in a couple weeks. But I would definitely do PEA for that. And then the Chinese herb, stasis in the mansion of the blood. This one, stasis in the mansion of the blood, is on our list for mast cell. And those are 1 per 10 pounds of body weight twice a day.
Crushed, right?
Crushed.
Solutions also has the new endocrine blend.
Oh, Solutions has an endocrine blend. Thank you, Gwen. Okay.
And
So that could help with the thyroid.
Carolyn wants to know any suggestions for the respiratory illness, also the liver support.
Okay. So I just asked Gwen before we went live, are we going to talk about the respiratory thing? Because everybody is flipping out. So again, support the immune system. And if it were me, I would not be, if there's been any reports, because it's been very isolated pockets right now. I know the media would like us all to think, oh my gosh, we're all going to die, because that's what we do. And Big Pharma gets in the middle of all that. And that's a soapbox for another day. But, watch the media in your particular area. If you could, if there is an outbreak in your area, then, boarding, grooming, daycare can wait for a few weeks. So support the immune system, something like reishi mushroom, either capsules or powders. Colostrum would be really good for that. There is an herb that we don't carry, but you can get it online, called Yin Chow, YINQIAO. If you all remember from a few years ago when especially with supporters, I had my COVID box with all my different teas and herbs and things if any of us got a respiratory illness. And Yin Chow is actually really good. If you've ever heard of Airborne, which is a tablet that you can take if you're going to fly, and it's supposed to help you keep you from getting respiratory illnesses when you're flying. Yin Chow is kind of the Chinese version of that, and it's certainly fine to be given to our pets. Again, it comes as a T-pill, 1 per 10 pounds of body weight twice a day, crushed. So if you think your dog has had an exposure, or if you're having to take them somewhere and you're worried they might get an exposure, then you can certainly use Yin Chow as sort of a preventative. If they become ill, then Manuka honey for sure. Pears, because that's going to help break down phlegm. And one of my herbal friends posted that also giving pineapple soup is really, really good for breaking down that phlegm, expectorant, that sort of thing. NAC, the N-acetylcysteine, if you've got a lot of phlegm and goo, if they do become ill, that would be something that you would want to supply for them as well. NAC. But again, I mean, I'm not worried about our dogs because they don't go to boarding, grooming, daycare. There haven't been any reports here locally. I think it got really publicized because the Asher House dogs out in Oregon, they have a lot of dogs, rescues, and they got exposed. And so it was a big deal on social media. But there have been other small pockets of it in other areas.
Margaret has a question about early dementia. She's got MCT, CoQ10, SAMI. She asked, what else?
Omega-3s. What you've got is a really good start. Again, NCT when it is in stock. And then also Clarity. Myco Dogs Clarity would be really good. And actually for the one with, so the Myco Dog Breathe would be really good for respiratory as well.
And Stephanie wants to know the best joint and hip support without glucosamine.
Okay. So our my senior formula has deer antler velvet and greenlet muscle. So there is not added glucosamine. Glucosamine is a natural chemical found in greenlet mussels and deer antler velvet. But we also have the kin and kind hip and joint. We have Wolf Creek's arthritis. They have turmeric, those kinds of things. This Connectin, I don't believe this one has, that one does. So there's a ton of different products.
For your PEA, is the dosing the same as the Vitalitis?
Not totally. The dosing is on the side of the jar. So for less than 10 pounds, it's a 1/16 of a teaspoon daily. 11 to 25 is an 1/8 of a teaspoon. 26 to 55 is a 1/4 teaspoon. 56 to 99 is a 1/2 teaspoon. 100 plus pounds is 1 teaspoon per day.
What would you replace the Buddy collagen sticks with?
Buddy collagen?
This is not a touchscreen.
Where is it? Which one are we?
This one here. Do we have collagen sticks?
Moldy. I know what she's talking about. Where are our collagen sticks living these days?
I believe
they have
they're in
rearranged the
back.
warehouse, and I'm so confused. Let's take a little tour down Adored Beast aisle. Green Juju aisle.
I'm pretty sure they're on the end.
End?
Yeah.
I'm a picker packer on Friday, I think. So, okay, Katie, all right, these are the Vital Essentials Bully sticks.
Oh, is that not what you're talking about?
No, I was talking about the collagen the collagen sticks.
Oh, they're hanging on the other end. Keep going.
I was standing right next to them and walked the wrong way. So these come in small and large. So this is more of a chipped collagen. So that's going to break off in little chips, and it's wrapped in a fish skin. And this one is more of a rolled collagen, which is very different from rawhide. This is not a rawhide product. It's collagen, which is underneath the skin.
Will you remind people where they can find the code? So
the code can be found posted in the community on Kajabi and in the supporters hub on Facebook, and it was also sent out in an email.
How can I get omegas into my boy with gallbladder disease and pancreatitis? All the vet specialists say he needs it, but he always has a negative GI response.
So I would use the encapsulated form. So I don't know what size your dog is, but the Derma 3, which is encapsulated, works really well for the dogs with pancreatitis that need the omegas. The other thing that you could try rather than a fish oil would be something like the Adored Beast Phyto Synergy or the Potent C, because this is an algae oil, and I believe this one's phytoplankton. So a little bit different.
Is there a multivitamin to add to homemade cooked food?
Depends what you need, but yes. Anybody know where RX Vitamins lives these days?
Right down here.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun on Friday. I'm gonna be running around like a chicken without a head. So the canine minerals is your mineral supplement, and then there's also a feline minerals, and then there's a essentials. Well, here we go. Feline essentials and canine essentials. One thing I will say about them is that you're still going to end up a little low in zinc, because this does not have zinc. So I would just add some green lip mussels or oysters to your food, and that'll take care of that.
Any non-pharma suggestions for getting rid of excess gallbladder sludge in my dog?
Yeah. Chinese herb Long Dan Shagan Wan, LONGDANXIEGANWAN, Long Dan Shagan Wan. It's for damp heat in the liver and gallbladder. And then the recipe in the Yin and Yang cookbook for bladder damp heat, which basically is for bladder stones, would work for gallbladder. It's just a different bladder. So recipes for bladder damp heat.
Which form of probiotics is better?
Well, we do recommend that you rotate your probiotics. So for mine, I rotate Phytos. Well, shoot, we'll come around here. And actually, I don't know where the other one is. I rotate the Symbiota, which is from BioStar. I also rotate in wherever the heck it is, Phytos Flora. Here, large stack, Phytos Flora. And then I've also been rotating in, where's the wolf? Oh, here they are. Oh, geez.
Oh no.
You know, if they go all the way to the ceiling with these shelves, I'm going to be toast. Soil and Sea, their roots product, and also the wolf. So that's like 4 different ones that I go through one container. And then when that one's done, I pick something else. And then when that one's done, I pick something else. So that's what I do with my guys.
Can you show us the rabbit rolls? Are they raw? And would it be safe for a 10-pound cat?
Oh, your 10-pound cat would have fun with it, I think. So these are, I mean, they're certainly going to be safe for the cat, but that's how big they are. I mean, your cat can still bat it around and have a great time with it and chew on it and do whatever they want. But we also have the rabbit feet. They're hard to see in their package, but there's a bunch of rabbit feet in here. So those would be really good for cats as well. And then we do have the whole Franken bunny, but that's got like the whole head. And I think that would be too big for your kitty cats. But the feet and the rabbit rolls, I think, would be really fun for the cats. Maybe I'll take some home.
Everyday supplements that you would give?
Everyday supplements. Oh my gosh. So every day, my crowd gets PEA, Iceland Pure fish oil, and I rotate between the salmon, one bottle, and the next bottle I do the sardine anchovy. So everybody gets that. Everybody gets vitamin D because I've tested them all. So they all get a couple of drops of vitamin D. They all get their probiotic. They are all getting colostrum. I have a lot. I'm a little bit supplement happy with my dogs, but just because I can. They're all actually, we don't carry it, but they're all getting moringa. But in place of moringa, I would do dog greens, which is just a really, really good supplement with spirulina and organic barley grass, wheatgrass, alfalfa, chlorella, really good stuff. They get a little bit of the Irish kelp of Dr. Connor Brady's. That's their base, I think. And then everybody has supplements individualized for each of their issues.
And can you elaborate on rotating probiotics?
Rotating probiotics. So like I said, I go through, we have 5 dogs. And so I use 1 container. So that might take a couple of weeks to get through that container. If you only had 1 or 2, you might take 4 weeks to go through it. So I do that. So mine are getting rotated a little bit more often just because I have more mouths that I'm feeding. And then the same with my fish oil. I actually buy the small bottle, the 8.75 ounce of the Iceland Pure. And I rotate those back and forth. So again, I'm probably rotating that every 3 to 4 weeks.
Margaret says Gussie's gut didn't help as much with anal gland issues. She said she tried Dr. Connor Brady's kelp last year, but it still has issues.
Have you tried, and I don't even know if we still have it. Do we still have Glandex?
I believe so.
We might still have Glandex. The other one would be the Healthy Poops from Kin and Kind. You might try. And then another thing that might help is the Cocoa Therapy coconut chips.
And Carolyn is addressing skin bacteria infections. What kind of supplement and skincare can help?
Okay. I think we need to go this way.
Don't forget stool right.
Oh, stool right. Well, that might be the kelp thing that she was talking about, the stool right.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest problems with recurring skin infections is you go through a lot of antibiotics and you usually are using shampoos that have chlorhexidine or antifungals in them, and we're ruining the skin microbiome. So you want to use a really, really soothing, cleaning shampoo that is not going to destroy the microbiome. So I would do something like the 4-legger natural shampoos, pick whichever one you like. I probably wouldn't do the oatmeal, but the lemongrass, aloe, and coconut if it's really irritated. Otherwise, we have the unscented. And then they also have this Restore vinegar rinse that I think would be really good for that as well. And then definitely, if the dog has been on a bunch of antibiotics, I would add Saccharomyces boulardii, which is made by Now and is over that way. And then also a really good probiotic on board.
I like the unscented because you can add your own essential oil to it.
Ah, there you go.
Is it okay to give PEA to my 12-pound dog with gallbladder disease and pancreatitis?
Yes, should be fine.
Okay. And do I need to add vitamin D, E daily for homemade food?
It depends on your recipe and it depends on your dog. So for instance, when I test my dogs, 4 of them come back a little bit low on vitamin D, even though they are on complete and balanced diets. And George, who has cancer, came back really, really low. So he's on quite a bit. I am supplementing the Sun E, vitamin E for all 5 of our dogs. So on my supplement list, they're all getting that because it's a great antioxidant. And vitamin E, we don't have near the issues with toxicity that we do with vitamin D. So with vitamin D, we just have to be careful. So it's really recommended. We do have the test kits here for the vitamin D. I do recommend testing vitamin D levels twice a year because even on a complete and balanced diet, depending on how your pet is absorbing and utilizing the ingredients in the food, that may make a difference in their vitamin D levels.
And Elaine wants to know, does the allergy panel test kit test both environmental allergies as well as food allergies?
That's a really good question. I don't know that I know the answer to that. I can look and see if it says. Let's see if it says allergy panel. I don't know.
Is it not the one I did for Maggie?
Yes. Did it?
Then yes, it's both.
Okay, both. We did it on Maggie. It does food and environmental. Thank you. So this is the straight vitamin D test kit. This one is essential vitamins. So that includes more than just the vitamin D. Why don't they put on the outside? It should say on the website what it does. And then there's the Wellness Plus CRA, which this is a really good one. I think this is the one I did for George because it gives me an inflammatory marker for how I'm doing with his cancer treatment. And then we do have the test kit for GI lymphoma. And a lot of times, if you're not sure whether you have just inflammatory bowel disease or a possible lymphoma in the bowel, you can't tell the difference between the two on abdominal ultrasound. So generally the internal medicine people are going to say, okay, great, we're going to go in and we're going to get a biopsy. Well, that's kind of invasive. So this is a much easier way to figure that out.
Use 2 fingers.
Okay. Do you still recommend the fish oil daily on the homemade food?
Yes. So mine, even though they're on complete and balanced diets, they still get additional fish oil because that's our omega-3s. And so one of the critical things that we look at is what's the sourcing of particularly your meats. So if you're feeding something that is using confinement raised meats, the omega-3 level is going to be lower than if you are feeding grass-fed meats. So the omega-6 to 3 ratio on the foods that I'm feeding is actually very low. And I'm sure I could get away with not adding that extra omega. I just feel better doing it. So I have dogs with heart disease, arthritis, you name it.
Patricia wants to know any recommendation for front leg lameness, not joint related, soft tissue arthritis. They've done chiropractic, laser acupuncture, also anything to reduce stomach lipoma.
A lipoma?
10-year-old.
That's a phlegm problem. So things to drain phlegm. So you can look that up, pears, clams, that sort of thing. And then for the lameness, if it's a soft tissue, I mean, you said soft tissue arthritis, which arthritis is a bone problem. It's not a soft tissue problem. So that's a conundrum. But certainly laser acupuncture and chiropractic are recommended. Basically, we want to decrease inflammation and also build muscle and support muscle. So from a Chinese medicine perspective, that's always supporting the GI tract because the GI tract is responsible for forming good muscle. So I would do anti-inflammatories like the PEA, but then also make sure that we have good GI health.
And
Gwen is bringing me something.
These are literally just coming into the warehouse. If you want to show them, they're the Wolf Creek duck bites.
Wolf Creek duck bites with rabbit and blueberry.
Brand new, just
So-
went live.
Just went live 1 minute ago. Duck with bone, duck gizzard, duck liver, duck heart, rabbit with bone, blueberries, and vitamin E. Nice. 200 plus bites in a 3-ounce bag. One treat is 1 calorie. Awesome. So nice little training treats. You can stick in your pocket.
Margaret says, what's the best dry food that can be fed like kibble using Steve's frozen or freeze-dried raw alternative with All Provide Now?
I would stick with that. I would use the freeze-dried as my pseudo kibble if the dog, or cat really wanted something that was crunchy. If you absolutely had to go to a kibble, then I would do something like carnivore because that's a baked kibble and it's not extruded.
And do you rotate your fish oils?
I do. Where are the fish oils? They're this away somewhere. Here they are. So like I said, I use small bottle just because once it's open, I don't want it to become rancid. So the bigger bottles, if you have big dogs or a lot of dogs, I have little dogs and they get it once a day. So I rotate the sardine anchovy and the salmon. Basically 1 bottle back and forth.
A lot of people are saying nice glasses.
Thanks. We're trying something a little funky. I have another pair coming next week. So trying for some fun stuff. We'll see.
Dental suggestions for a 16-year-old.
Who, what?
Dental help suggestions.
Dental. Oh, God, we have so many dental choices. Let's turn around. All right. So if they'll let you brush, that's great. If they won't let you brush, and you can do a combination of things. So we have the teeth, which is the water additive, which has protectin, I believe it's called. Yes, protectin, and vitamin B6 and L-arginine, which is an amino acid. So this goes in their water. And then certainly brushing is optimal. Usually we'll combine coconut oil with love bugs probiotic to make a toothpaste, or coconut oil with a couple drops. It's fun. We're still on. Yeah. With a couple drops of my dental drops to make a toothpaste for brushing. Then we also have Canadent, which is an Irish kelp product. So you can do a combination of all those. You can pick and choose. If you have an animal that'll let you brush, that's great. That's the gold standard. If they won't let you brush, then something like Canadent added to their food, or teeth. And then we also have the Animalio dog breath. Dog breath light essential oil. So that's another option. So, and you can use a combination of those things. I feel like I'm forgetting some, but that's what's hitting my brain at the moment.
Back to the raw freeze-dried question. Can we give some of the freeze-dried raw dry food without water to rehydrate? Mine seems to like the crunch from the big dog natural sample.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. It's not, I wouldn't do that 100% of the time, but if they want, a little bit of that as a treat or as something just to be a little bit crunchy. Then the other thing that you can do is things like the collagen sticks to give them something to crunch on. I really like those ones that are kind of the chipped bone or the chipped collagen that's pressed because that breaks apart really nicely.
Supplements for severe cases of allergies.
First of all, you got to fix the gut. So we do have the leaky gut protocol from Adored Beast. We have the Wolf Creek immunity and allergy. We have, oh my gosh, this one, the bioresilient allergy. And you can look on the website to see all the different ingredients that are in these. But even things like antioxidants, like the vitamin E, and then definitely, we also have bioresilient has a dental health. See, I knew I was missing one. So this is another additive for the food. This one, let's see what's in this one. Dried whey from goat milk, coconut, yucca, dried kelp, green tea, anise, inulin, papaya, aspergillus, and calcium. Cool.
Are there probiotics with enzymes?
Yeah. Adored Beast. We also have the WinPro allergy. That's a chew, which some people really love that. The Healthy Gut is enzyme and pre and probiotic by Adored Beast.
And Nicole says that she got a test back with sensitivity test, medium reaction to coconut oil. Other suggestions for the toothpaste?
Well, you can just put the dental drops on your toothbrush. You could mix it with bone broth, whatever you want to brush with. I am not a fan of baking soda. I will say that.
All right. Ask them if we've missed any.
All right. If we missed a question somewhere along the way, please post it again, because as usual, the computer is popping them up and some of them disappear off the screen before we see them.
And it says the Rockstar canned food has your testimony on their site. I'd like to hide meds in there. Is that okay?
Yeah, Rockstar is a very high quality food. I don't feed canned food to my dogs, but their food is organic. It's the highest level of humanely raised, organic, well-sourced ingredients that you can get in Europe. So it's a phenomenal food. If you need a canned food, for instance, I used it when I was having problems with Stewie eating, when his heart failure and kidney failure were getting more advanced, and he wasn't a fan of raw food at the time. So I used the Rockstar, and he did well with that. So it's a good option.
Kim says she's using Felix's Flora for her cats with hairballs. Is there a better option?
Well, the Felix's Flora is going to help just because it's a probiotic. You might also look at, there's a feline gut soothe. That's the dog one. Yep, feline gut soothe may help. And normally I would say the Cocotherapy hairball, but that is out of stock. You could use,
Tilt it down.
oh, sorry, you could use the Cocotherapy coconut chips and just crumble them in the food would be another option since the hairball is out of stock.
And supplements for a collapsing trachea and also acid reflux for a senior.
Well, so the acid reflux, we need to figure out why the animal has acid reflux, which means there's something going on in the GI tract. So certainly you could try something like the Gut Soothe or Gastro-Elm. And then for collapsed trachea, we do have a blog on that with a whole bunch of links. Unfortunately, there's not anything great for that. Feeding collagen, supporting cartilage is really what we want to do. And again, supporting gut health, because gut health is responsible for muscle. And the problem with collapsing trachea is the cartilage rings of the trachea go about this far around. And then the top of the trachea is actually a little muscle layer, and it weakens and falls in. So we want to support GI function because that's what supports muscle.
What can we give a dog with a low appetite?
Again, figure out why they have a low appetite. Do they have a low appetite because they've got a little bit of kidney disease? They've got some inflammatory bowel disease? Do they have a Jing deficiency and so they don't like to eat in the morning? They only like to eat in the evening, which is fine. Are you feeding the wrong form of food? Do they prefer something that's a little drier? Do they prefer theirs to be gently cooked? Sometimes it's a matter of figuring out. A lot of animals have a texture preference. They may have a flavor preference, and certainly warming up the food and getting that aroma is going to be helpful as well.
Joints on the right front carpus has clicking when walking, no pain or uncomforted. Any supplements that can help?
So again, anything, look at the Natural Treatment for Arthritis blog. Anything that we have that treats and supports joint function is anything that you could use. So again, omegas, the PEA, collagen, the hip and joint. We have so many different arthritis and joint products in the store.
And chronic dry eyes for a dog?
Chronic dry eyes. So again, dry eye diet. Look at that recipe. We have a blog on that. It's also in Yin and Yang. It's pretty much in every book, actually. And then these are the drops that I like because they have hyaluronic acid in them. The eye drop gel. And it says right on there for severe dry eye. You can use it for any level of dry eye. But certainly the dry eye diet, if you have a pet with dry eye, don't feed them dry kibble. It's just not going to work. So they need a really high moisture diet. But the dry eye diet has things to help dissolve the phlegm that they're producing. It also has blood tonics in it to help increase the moisture. It works really, really well. It takes about 3 months for the diet to really kick in. So you can use something like the eye drop along with that.
Pam says she just bought the Mind Pet Platter. She makes a puff loaf and she wants to microwave it 13 seconds to take the chill off from the refrigerator. Is it okay to put the pet platter into the microwave?
I would not microwave the pet platter. I don't think it would hurt it, but I wouldn't.
Suggestions?
So I would put it in another bowl, a ceramic bowl or something to put it in the microwave and then put it onto the platter. That's if I have to warm up my pet's food and I'm doing it in the microwave, it's warmed up in a different container and then it goes onto their platter.
And going back to the collagen sticks, they think they had mold in it since he has severe digestive issues. Is there anything to worry about? Anything that should be given to him? He's a Yorkie, 6 pounds.
Anything that should be given to him because we think he ate mold? First of all, she sent me an email with that and a video, and I can't even say from the video if it was mold. And mold, the biggest problem with mold is it affects the liver. So that would be a liver detox of some sort. So whether you use just plain milk thistle, like from Solutions, or the Adored Beast liver tonic, something like that. But that's where mold becomes an issue for our pets, is usually it's a liver problem.
And anything to help boost energy. My dog is very lazy.
First of all, check endocrine function. So make sure that, the adrenals are functioning well, that the thyroid is functioning well, if you haven't tested that. And then the other thing to consider is the dog lazy because the dog has pain? Very, very commonly. So when we had our Dobermans, when they first came out with Rimadyl, my 9-year-old Doberman was very lazy, and I thought it was because he was getting older and lazy. And I started him on Rimadyl before I was holistic, and I didn't know any better. And within a couple of days, he was racing around our 3 acres, chasing deer, being a complete lunatic. And I really thought he was getting old and lazy, and really he was pretty painful. So, I would try things. And again, I don't know how old the dog is. I don't know what breed is, but I would be looking at endocrine and pain.
And what can they give to lower ALT? Should I give Amino B Plex daily?
Well, Amino B Plex isn't going to help to lower ALT, but if they are anemic or low in B vitamins, it's going to be really good for that. But to lower the ALT, I would use something like the Solutions milk thistle, the Adored Beast liver tonic. We also, depending on the size of the dog, we have the RX Biotics hepato support. So basically, we're draining the liver.
And supplements recommended for the mitral valve disease.
We have a whole blog on heart disease and supplements recommended for that. For sure, CoQ10, 5 to 10 milligrams per pound of body weight twice a day. So we have it in 60 milligram and 200 milligram, which is a lot higher than doses you're going to see from traditional veterinarians. The omega-3 fatty acids. You could do taurine, but if you're feeding a meat-based diet, you're not going to need it. I'm trying to think. Depending on where they are in the disease process, we also have the 5-leaf Pet Botanicals heart program, which includes a heart tonic, hawthorn, taurine, L-carnitine, and the dog greens that I like so much. So depending on where they are in that process. Although you could start them at any point with that.
Is biting the feet an indication of allergies?
Is biting the feet an indication of allergies? Can be, for sure.
And the cat with itchy skin, I assume allergies. Where'd it go? Just disappeared.
So cat with itchy skin, assuming allergies. So again, a lot of the allergy products, you could try the PEA, and a lot of the allergy products that are in the store are good for cats as well as dogs. So I would be looking at some sort of omegas, and then really look at the diet to see, because usually with our kitty cats with allergies, it tends to be more food driven than environmental.
Food supplements for dogs with struvite crystals.
So struvite crystals are from a urine pH that is too high. So Adored Beast has easy peasy. Oh, I don't know if this is it. I can't see. Nope, that's all leaky gut. They have a down here. Nope, that's Easy Beast. Okay, they have one. Easy peasy. Jeez Louise. So when we have struvite crystals, it means the urine pH is too high, and a lot of times that is associated with a urinary tract infection. So Easy Peasy can be very helpful for that. Also, RX vitamins, RX cranberry, the immunity from Kin and Kind also has cranberry, coconut, blueberries, would be another option.
The cat with the itchy skin, they just transitioned her to freeze-dried food. Are there supplements that she should be taking?
Well, the freeze-dried, depending on which freeze-dried food you're using, it should be a complete diet. So you shouldn't necessarily need supplements. If she just transitioned, I would see how the cat does on that, and I would be looking at a novel protein. So Steve's has a whitefish, I think. Green Juju has a rabbit. We've got the small batch. Well, this is the Steve's Quest. They have a pork, yes, and they have a whitefish for kitties. So I would look at something like that. That's a novel protein for them. I don't know. Green Juju has a rabbit, and small batch has turkey, chicken, and beef. So depending on what your cat was eating before, that's how you would determine what they should eat now.
And for the same cat, should I try an allergy test? I have PEA on order. Should I try another supplement?
I would definitely try the PEA. Let's see how the cat does with the food change. And yes, this allergy test is for dogs and cats. So the reason you do an allergy test is it can shortcut things. Like you can do, Katie's going, yes, because Maggie has just a ton of allergies, her dog.
Took us a year to figure it out, and that did it for us.
Really? So what was the big key that you changed?
Well, we found out that she was allergic to cats. So
She's allergic to cats.
But we did just food allergies, and that wasn't enough.
Okay.
The environmental is what she needed.
Okay.
And that's the only thing that showed us the right environmental.
There you go. So you could do that. It shortcuts things because it lets you know what, obviously there are some environmental things you can't control, but you want to control what you can.
And can you touch base on rotating proteins in the food? Like one day, can you give duck, the next pork, so forth?
Yeah. So rotating your proteins in the food. My dogs and cats don't get the same thing 2 meals in a row. We have probably 10 different proteins in the freezer, and it's literally whatever we thaw out for that meal. I don't even pay attention to, did they have turkey this morning and yesterday? It's literally whatever I thaw out and pull out. We rotate a lot. So you can rotate every meal. Some people, if you're making batches of food, they'll rotate monthly. Some people rotate weekly, but literally you can, if they have a gut that can tolerate changes, feel free, mix it up.
And what supplements would you recommend for a cat with feline hyperesthesia?
Hyperesthesia syndrome, chiropractic. That's how I've cured them, but I would also try the PEA.
Should I feed my dog with Cushing's disease warming proteins in wintertime and stick to cooling and neutral, or stick to cooling and neutral?
With Cushing's, they're usually pretty hot dogs. So you have to base it on the symptoms that your dog is showing. So definitely in the summer, we're going to do cooling. In the winter, you might be able to move up to neutral. If the dog is still drinking a lot, still panting, you're not going to be able to go to warming proteins. You have to go with what their tongue is telling you and what they are telling you, with where they're sleeping and that sort of thing.
Emily's posting links.
Thanks, Emily.
I am still waiting. They're saying, wow, that was helpful.
All right, good.
And any recommendations for chronic kidney degeneration?
Yeah. So chronic kidney degeneration, we have a lot of things we can do with that too. I don't know where they live anymore. So if I don't know whether we're talking dog or cat, but Dr. Harvey's has their kidney health for dogs, and then RX Vitamins has RX Renal for dogs and for cats. Here's one. It looks like the kitty cat one. Yep, that's the feline. And then they also have a dog one. And then we also have Aminovast. So they have a cat and a dog on the label. Basically, if the animal is under about 12 pounds, buy the kitty cat one. So if it's a small dog, buy the cat one. If you have a 20-pound cat, buy the dog one. They're the same exact thing. It's just different strengths of the capsules.
Maria says he's a dog.
Okay. Oh, and here's another one. Green tone. So this is kidney support drops from Ayush Pets, which again is an herbal support. We have lots of options. And I know I'm missing a lot of things. Oh, for those who were asking about balancing, if you need a calcium supplement, we also have the eggshell calcium. And I think we also, we have for joint support, we have eggshell membrane collagen, which is a new product, which is very good. And then we have this hip and joint from In Clover called Connectin, which has herbs and all kinds of good things in it. So many new things in this
Did you see? Did you see the On the Move, which is right there?
Oh, here's another one, another new one, On the Move. This one is from Wildly Blended. And again, bovine collagen peptides, turmeric root, everything's organic, camu fruit, reishi, hawthorn fruit, frankincense, spinach leaf, collard leaf, broccoli, cayenne, blackberry, raspberry, parsley. Cool.
And the Wolf Creek hip and joint. This is like a cute little.
And the Wolf Creek hip and joint is.
UC2
I mean, we have
is
so
right
many.
here. Yeah,
Yep.
we got a bunch of stuff.
Going back to the eggshell powder, what are the directions on that? How much to give per meal?
While she's grabbing that, we've got about 10 more minutes of Dr. Judy answering questions, which I know we're not going to get through all the questions. So if you are a member of the community, post your questions in the community. We will try to answer them and give you suggestions over the next few days. And also, if you're a supporter, comment on one of the supporter posts that has the code supporters 2023. And we'll try to go through and answer any questions that we don't get to, or at least give you some brief direction. So we will do our best over the next 2 days. I'll be working tomorrow before Thanksgiving dinner. So one of us will hopefully try to get to your question if we can't finish. But
So this is 1 teaspoon per pound of food that you make.
I think they said eggshell membrane, not the eggshell powder.
Oh, this is the calcium for food. So on the collagen membrane, this one says cats a 32nd of a teaspoon. And then for home prepared pet foods, it says 1/8 teaspoon per pound of home prepared food. But for how big is the scoop? The scoop is a 32nd of a teaspoon. So it's basically a scoop per 10 pounds of body weight.
Nicole says she's got a Siberian Husky senior in years that farts a lot.
That what?
Farts a lot.
It's silent but deadly.
That's
Can you touch on suggestions? She's not changed food brand or adored beast at all, but she's farting a lot more in the last 2 to 3 months.
her food's not agreeing with her. She's not digesting well. There's something in there that's not agreeing. So I can tell you that, again, before I was holistic, when I was the science diet pet food salesman, my Dobermans used to just clear the room. They were so awful with their gas. And I tried every dry kibble out there. And finally, when I got to Bill Jack, which was made a little bit differently, he finally stopped farting. And this is not a promotion for Bill Jack because I don't like the food. But if you have your pet on a food that is agreeing with them and they're digesting well, you're not ever going to have gas problems with your pets. So I would maybe consider adding something like the Healthy Gut from Adored Beast that has the enzymes and the pre and probiotic. But you may be looking that you need a bit of a food change.
For a dog that's difficult to brush your teeth, any other suggestions?
Yeah, so do the teeth water additive, do the Canadent, which you can add to the food. Those are things that are this other dental health from BioResilient. So I would pick one, try it for a month or so. If you're not seeing a change, pick another, or you can do combinations. But
The eggshell membrane collagen product, is that good for building muscle in old dogs?
it's not going to hurt because anything that we can do to increase mobility is going to help build muscle. The other thing that can be very helpful, I can't see. abundant she.
Rita has a severely food-sensitive dog, and she wants to switch back to home-cooked meals after having been on prescription crap, which usually stabilized him since June 9.
So again, I would be looking at really novel proteins, but something that you could try before you start making huge batches of food would be, where is it? Either, because these are complete and balanced and minimal ingredients. So the green juju rabbit or the Steve's whitefish. I would try something like that in small amounts and see how the dog is doing. Again, you could do an allergy test that would include the food allergens to get an idea of what sensitivities might be there. That just shortcuts it, or you can try things. But it's really a matter of, one, using very highly digestible, novel ingredients, with as few ingredients as possible in the recipe. And I like both of these products for that reason. Rabbit and whitefish are both highly digestible, particularly the whitefish. It's novel protein. I would look at adding little bits of that and starting that first and see how the dog reacts. If the dog is reacting well, or you can do the allergy testing to figure out where to start. But, if they're reacting well to like a whitefish diet, then if you want to make your own, then we know at least what proteins we can use in there.
Couple more questions.
My cat is having a lot of arthritis. She's on omega-3, deer antler velvet, and chronicine, glucosamine. Anything else you would add?
Yeah, so you might, because kitty cats are so much fun, you might look at adding the Homeopet joint dress. So that would be adding in a homeopathic. And I don't know if they said PEA, but if they haven't done PEA, I would add that.
And regarding bone broth, she eats all his necessary food amounts. Can bone broth be given additionally? Is there a difference between variety or watery and gelatinous? And can too much be given? 6-pound Yorkie.
I think you'd have a hard time giving too much bone broth. And I think it's fine whether it's gelatinous or watery. It just depends on the company that's making it. If you're making your own, just make sure that after you make your bone broth, you put it in the fridge and then skim off that fat layer off the top, particularly with a Yorkie, because they're really prone to pancreatitis.
And speaking of whitefish recipe, are you concerned with heavy metals at all?
If you're feeding all fish all the time, particularly larger fish like salmon, I would be concerned. Smaller fish, sardine, anchovies, tend to, and also depending on where they are sourced from, that's going to determine your heavy metal toxicities. So I generally look for fish that comes from northern waters. I feel in like Scandinavian waters tend to be better. Okay, we're going to sign off. I got to go home and finish cooking. We have guests coming starting tonight through the next week and all kinds of fun and games. Everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to running around the warehouse. I love to stick my phone in my pocket, and then at the end of the day, it tells me I ran 7 miles around the warehouse picking products, especially since I don't know where things are. So this was a good little beginner intro. I'll know where everything is by Wednesday, and then I'll come in Thursday and they will have rearranged things, but that's just the way it is.
Remind them about the code.
Okay, so look for your code in the emails that were sent to you, or on the supporter hub page on Facebook, or on the community page in the community. That's where your code's going to be.
And they can rewatch this video.
And you can rewatch the video. It'll be available for you.
All right.
Bye.